Well, good evening, race fans of the internet, and welcome back to another Talking Dirt feature presentation. Tonight we have round number 10 of season 4 for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Street Stocks. And tonight we are at the New Smyrna Speedway here in New Smyrna. What is this, Georgia, Florida? Somewhere, Matt. We're somewhere in the southeast. I believe we are in Georgia. And tonight we have Florida, sorry. And we have
New Smyrna, Florida.
We're in New Smyrna, Florida, and we have a heck of a race coming your way. The SOAR Street Stocks already on track. And let's go ahead and take it down and watch some of these guys as they take their qualifying laps. Here's Pete Dillon, the first we're going to look at. Of course, a nice half-mile track here. Paperclip in length, or in layout, excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and pull up. These are your current point standings after week number 9 last week at the Rutskigen Motor Center. James Murphy currently leads the points. Murphy about, I believe, 22 points to the good over Andrew Rutherford second. Sorry, I was moving that all around, couldn't find it real quick. Murphy, Rutherford, Vining, Gross, and Martin, your top 5 in points. Those 5 drivers separated by about 100 points. So Murphy just about has it locked up. He would do so with a couple more good runs before the end of the season. But, of course, we're not alone here tonight. We are joined once again by the co-voice of TDTV, co-voice of the Talking Dirt podcast, as well, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, as we get ready to see 12 cars go to battle here at the New Smyrna Speedway. And we are very excited as so far Aaron Thompson, who's been lights out this year, is on the point.
Yes, sir. We got some close times here today, as only exactly 1/10 separates the entire top 5. So your leader here's got a 19.863, and 5th place Daniel Brown has a 19.963. So some pretty close times here. They continue to stay close throughout the field.
Absolutely, yeah. Thompson first, Rutherford second, Dylan Carter Brown the top 5. Points leader Murphy down in 9th as far as times are concerned here. Elliott Vining, last week's winner. He'll have to take an EO well, but he's 10th quick. And Reed Christensen, who lives not far from the New Smyrna Speedway, is 11th last so far, with Brian Toller not yet taking a lap time. Not sure if he will. But we look back here. I think we've got Andrew Rutherford out there cutting some practice laps. He's a driver that's not too familiar with this speedway, but he is learning rather quickly, as he is the only one out on the speedway right now before we get set for tonight's 80-lap feature. Thanks for tuning in to TDTV thus far. We are bright and early in the stream here tonight, but y'all go ahead and hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We are right there at 100 subscribers and would love to hit it before we let you guys in on some new content coming towards your way during the off season for the SOAR Street Stocks. But Matt, we get set to line up here. Unfortunately, only 12 cars make the call here tonight, but it's a good-looking 12 cars. And why don't you tell us who's starting where?
Well, rolling off the field here in first place, you got the 19 of Aaron Thompson, and second place is going to be the 35 of Andrew Rutherford. Starting inside row number 2 is going to be the 7 of Pete Dillon. Outside of him is going to be the 38 of Alan Carter. Starting in row number 3, on the inside, going to be the 33 of Daniel Brown. To his outside, the 12 of Dylan Sell. Starting 7th, going to be David Gross piloting that number 78 Camaro. Starting 8th is going to be the number 4 of Colt Martin. 9th going to be the 65 of James Murphy. 49 of Elliott Vining is going to be rolling off in 10th. Reed Christensen in the 30. In 11th, Wealth is the 9 of Brian Toller. And that's going to be our field here.
It is, as it might say there's one extra driver, but he is not in the server anymore. And that is your starting lineup for tonight. We started the season, up over 20 drivers, and attrition has played a major factor in this series so far this year. But I guarantee you, these next two races for the series are going to be jam-packed. We've got the Kentucky Motor Speedway next Tuesday night. That'll be a 60-lap feature at one of the better tracks on the schedule. It's going to be absolutely wide open, 3 wide from the time you say go. And then Irwindale, a nice, small short track to end the season, 80 laps there. So 2 races left, and we hope to absolutely pack the pits for the SOAR guys in those 2 races. So I believe we are waiting just another minute here as the driver who's no longer in the server is holding us up, and there we go. There's the release. The pace car will pull off of the pit road, and we'll take 1 pace lap here around the new Smyrna Speedway, and it'll be go time for the SOAR Street Stocks. There you see Aaron Thompson lead them out. Rutherford will be outside. Carter Dillon, row number 2. Brown Sale, row number 3. We've got some other big marquee drivers here. James Murphy back there in 9th. Christensen in 10th. Vining in 11th. Don't forget Gross. What is Alan Carter doing? Alan Carter scrapes the wall here before we even get going.
I believe James Murphy was just trying to cut some of the grass down on the back straightaway.
Alan knew that wall scrape was coming, so he went ahead and took it before we even got lined up. And of course, he is being given an end-of-line penalty for his antics in last week's race. Of course, that one was a wild one at Rudskigen, and he will be given an EOL penalty. Believe another car that was supposed to get one did not show up here tonight. So that leaves us with just Carter getting that EOL as the pace car begins to look towards pit road. It does go down it. We're going to go green flag racing off turn number 4. And the field has lit the fire. We're underway here at New Smyrna as Rutherford leads us down into turn number 1. Thompson in 2nd. He's lost that lead already. The outside looks to be just a little bit faster here on lap 1.
Just a little bit of advantage here is now we see Colt Martin start to pull ahead of Pete Dillon a little bit, and as well as James Murphy over Daniel Brown, so that a little bit of contact there causes Pete Dillon to go around. No caution yet as Pete Dillon slowly gets it back going, and he's going to come. Well, he's going to keep it going, so I guess we're going to stay green. I guess he tried to come to a stop.
Yeah, he tried to do that old dirt track caution. That was funny.
But unfortunate for him. But 3 laps in of a 80-lap feature, so long night ahead.
Absolutely long night ahead indeed. And if we were to get a caution, that would save his race. We got one making a move. Brown looks to the inside of Murphy. James going to give up that inside positioning. Let's see if he's able to clear him there off of turn number 2. He will. So Danny's going to have to try it again. The outside just a little bit better here. On lap number 4, Murphy maintains spot number 4 up front. Rutherford comfortable margin, about a car length's advantage over the number 19 of Aaron Thompson. Martin in 3rd, Murphy in 4th. Brown rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, pretty much everybody on the outside road, or that started on the outside road, had a really good start there. So a lot of moves being made so far in this race. Everybody's single filed out a little bit here now. Aaron Thompson keeps peeking his nose in a little bit, going into every corner, but it is not phasing that 35 of Andrew Rutherford at all. He's staying calm and collected and having a pretty good, consistent pace right now.
Absolutely is. As I had the cameras towards the back for a second, Vining looked like he was going to make a move on the number 3 of Carter. Nothing doing for him. Back up front, like you said, Rutherford holding serve. Thompson looking for a way around him. Looks like he's going to have to try and go high here. But if you go any higher than that line that Rutherford's working, I don't believe it will work. Back to Murphy and Brown, the battle for 4th. Those two are neck and neck right now, bumper to bumper, rear bumper to front bumper. And right behind them, Gross and Christensen in the exact same manner right now as Reed's trying to let that 78 make a mistake, and he just might have, as Gross down on the apron of the track here, going to give Reed a run down the front stretch.
Reed going to try to enter the corner high, but David Gross able to come off the corner, but he going to peek in going into turns 3 and It's like David Gross is going to go a little bit higher than what he needed to be, and it's going to give Reed Christensen the position here. Battle for 6th spot now. Dylan Sells going to try to throw his name into the mix here.
Absolutely. Reed makes the pass for 6th. Put him back up into excuse me, guys. That was horrible. Gives him a fighting chance of getting into the top 5 here. That's what I was trying to say the whole time there, Matt. I do apologize. But I think we're back to single file racing here now.
I don't know. Dylan Sells looks like he's trying to, load up another charge here, but
yeah, he looked a little squirrely back there.
He's going to peek it there. He's going to peek the nose there, but he's going to peek. He tried to peek it there in the center of the corner instead of the entrance or the exit, but he's going to try to load up another move here to try to get around David Gross.
Absolutely. Looked like Sam was feeling a little froggy there, but he never managed to get the jump off. Toller behind him, Brian, not able to catch up to Sale right now, and he is starting to make some ground away from the 3 of Carter. Vining stuck behind them. Currently first to last. Dylan in last right now after being the lap 2 caution, or the lap 2 spin out. No caution for him. Back up front, your top 2, Matt, are putting a gap on 3rd. It's about a 1.5 seconds from Aaron Thompson back to Colt Martin.
One thing I want to point out, well, never mind now. Now they are. I was going to say Andrew Rutherford's his front brakes aren't glowing as much as the 19 of Aaron Thompson's.
Right.
But now that they got a little bit more warmth in them, they are glowing just as red. So both drivers hard on the brakes, but trying to drive it as fast as they can around that bottom.
Absolutely. Into the mid-pack we go. Daniel Brown looking to make the move on Murphy for 5th. They touch in turn number 4. Brown gets a little bit sideways. Oh, he pulls right up in front of Christensen. Reed's on the binders. Now juts slow to try to get around the 33. Good action going on. Battling for 5th, Matt.
They go back single file now. They're still right there on each other. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like the 49 of Elliott Vining has pulled into the pits here. So not sure what's going on with his ride tonight, but we are pretty much single file at the moment.
Absolutely ours. Now Brown's going to try to make a move on Murphy again. He's got to the left rear. Can he make a move into 3? He'll pull back up behind the 65 and continue to ride right where he was. Yeah, Vining must have had an incident there. It looked like he crashed, and then he got out of the car, had it towed into pit lane, so he'll presumably be done for the night. Already 19 in of 80, almost a quarter of a way through this race. Rutherford leads Thompson here at the New Smyrna Speedway. It's a distance back to Colt Martin, 2.4 seconds off the leader right now, but he's still got these guys right behind him battling too wide again as Daniel Brown, Reed Christensen fight for the 5th spot. Christensen on the bottom, Brown on the top. Right behind them, it's David Gross still in Sale. Those two were too wide for just a second. But back to the 33 and the 30 machine. 2 very good buddies mixing it up here in turn number 4.
And I'm going to tell you what, Reed Christensen's the only one I've seen make the bottom work so far in this race. So maybe he's got something going on that these other drivers don't. But so far, I'm not sure how many positions up he is, but having a great race so far.
Absolutely. Right in front of them, Murphy just running a consistent line, not letting anybody get around him, not giving any room. Hasn't yet made an attempt to get by Colt Martin in the 4 machine. As Martin continues to run 3rd, Thompson and Rutherford still about 2.5 seconds better than the rest of the field here as they will race down into turns 1 and 2. There's a nice shot of that 35 machine looking for seasonal win. Number, let's go off the top of my head here. I think it's 3 or 4. It would be 3. So looking for season win number 3 for Rutherford. It would be season win number 2 for Thompson. So both of these guys have experienced victory with the series before, and right now hold serve 25 laps in of 80.
Yeah, Andrew Rutherford able to work himself up to a little over half a second lead here. So he's He's riding in a comfortable spot at the moment. So he's on right now. He's just pretty much on a Sunday cruise. And
Oh,
now we
caution.
have a caution come out.
Dylan Sale, the cause of the caution here. David Gross involved as well. Dylan Sale, David Gross get together right behind that gaggle of cars we were just watching. Let's hit that replay button and go back and check this one out as they were racing down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And it looks like that 12 machine just kind of got in hot. Let's see. That didn't do me justice here. Let's play that one more time and see what happens between the 12 and the 78 as they raced into turn number 3. And yeah, it looks like the 12 just gets into them and turns around the 78. And that will draw yellow here on lap number 26, Matt.
Not much action going on so far in this race, but early on, closing in on halfway though. So I expect a lot of moves starting to be made. Let's say, I want to say around lap, let's say 57 to 60. We'll start seeing some moves being made then.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I think the guys will start pulling out on the stops around that point as well. So far, Rutherford with a good run, Thompson with a good run as well. And how about Murphy holding down the top 5? He's, running a consistent line every single lap, not letting anybody get around him. And he set up for a restart on the outside. And we saw from the last start that outside played a major factor in Andrew Rutherford being able to attain the lead. So we are in for a heck of a restart here on, I believe we'll restart it right around, lap number 30 or so, 10 shy of halfway.
Yeah, 29 or 30. But yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they do get lane choice, so I'm sure Andrew Rutherford is going to choose the outside.
Oh, absolutely. If they do, I don't remember for sure, but let's find out here as we cross the start-finish line. If they do, the light's still on, so we'll at least take one more pace lap before choosing for leader Andrew Rutherford.
Now I got a question, because I'm
that?
just now noticing that is there a go-kart track in the middle of this track?
Let's find out.
That's what it looks like from the camera I've been looking at. I've just been noticing it out the corner of my eye.
That very well could be a go-kart track. I'll pull up the blimp view. That I believe it is. If I had to make a judgment based on what I'm looking at, it looks darn sure like a go-kart track. And that's pretty daggum cool if they were able to make that raceable in iRacing. I would love that. Yeah, that's definitely a go-kart track, by the way. Now that I see it closer, definitely a go-kart track.
But it looks like Andrew Rutherford's gonna choose outside as we are going green this time by. The lights are off on the pace car. The pace car is gonna be dipping down any second now. Andrew Rutherford is gonna lead the field to another green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're racing once again at New Smyrna. Rutherford on the top, a heck of a jump. And let's see where the guys go behind him. Thompson with Murphy and Martin side by side. James trying to take the second spot. Overruns the corner. That's going to allow Martin to get back by him. And we single file out here. A lap into this run on lap number 32 with Christensen and Brown breathing down his neck. These guys racing hard right now at New Smyrna. Oh, contact. The 3 gets into the back of the 33. A little 3 on 33 violence here on lap number 33. You get it? I got it.
Yep.
Brian Toller falls all the way to the back here, man.
Well, that last lap on the restart, actually, Reed Christensen, you were talking about, he was driving it. Yeah, he's giving it his all right now as he's underneath the 65 of James Murphy. And it looks like he's going to get away with the position here. So Reed Christensen up to 4th. Daniel Brown now is going to try to take advantage of Murphy being out of the racing groove, and he's going to try his hand at taking over 5th position.
He absolutely is, but James holding a line right there in the middle of the racetrack, not giving it up just yet. But Brown is going to have the advantage this time by the line. Murphy still holds down the 5th spot, and they are side by side as close as it gets. As it looked like Brown let out of it, Murphy slaps the wall, but he's gonna maintain the position. Still, these two racing hard here just before the halfway point of this race, as James holds down spot number 5. And I believe the lead for Rutherford right now about 0.3 of a second over Thompson. And Martin slowly falling off here, but he's keeping them within striking distance as he still runs in the 3rd spot. Christensen a little blinky. And back behind him, I missed it, but Daniel Brown finally makes the pass on Murphy.
And Murphy gets a little nudge from Alan Carter there. Alan Carter saying, hey, man, come on, we got to go. So Alan Carter's going to fall in line. He's going to try to pick his nose in the center of the corner there, but James is going to be able to hold on to the position.
Right, and it looks like James just got a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, but he got a little squirrely there for a couple of laps and wasn't able to.
He got out of his groove.
Yeah, he wasn't able to run a consistent line there and lost a couple of spots, but let's see how he rebounds now as we approach halfway next time by, as we work on lap number 39 of 80 here. Next time around, it'll be into lap number 40, and that will be the halfway point of this race. Martin in 3rd, Christensen, Brown, all of them are single file right now. And it doesn't look like we have any big battles on the speedway besides Carter and Sale breathing down the neck of James Murphy.
I just took a look and I just seen that the guy running in 4th place, Reed Christensen, and he is up a total of 7 positions so far halfway through this race as he crosses the line for lap 41. So good race for him so far, hard charger, and probably the best race he's had so far this year.
Well, possibly, but he's definitely up 7 positions like he said. Let's look at some lap times here. And Christensen currently, I believe, still the 4th fastest guy on the track here, so a little bit slower than the guys in front of him. And Rutherford still the fastest guy out there as he continues to click off 20.23s, 20.21s. He is absolutely flying around this half-mile track. Is back towards the mid-pack. Murphy all out of whack, and that gets Carter and Sale into each other here in turn number 3. Oh, and Sale turns Carter. Caution flag will fly as Dylan Sale turns Alan Carter, as both of those guys were eyeballing getting around the 65 of Murphy. See, Matt, they were beating and banging there down the front straightaway, got the back straightaway, and a little contact there out of turn number 2, and around goes the 3 machine. Not too much damage, however, but he's going to have to retry it from the tail of the field here as we take caution just a little over halfway, 44 laps in.
So we was wrong last caution, and these guys said they must have heard us, and they said, you know what, we just gonna go ahead and put on a show for these guys. We saw a lot of moving around, passing going on that last green flag run. So pretty good driving by these guys. Hopefully they didn't use up their tires too much too soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the fear that I'm having for James right now, as he was losing precious seconds there for quite a while during that run. But he still holds down that 6th place position right now. Now trailing Brown, Christensen. Those two round out the top 5. Rutherford up front has been a man on a mission so far tonight, as he has led all 46 laps thus far after Thompson qualified on pole to start the night.
He sure has been showing his muscle here tonight, and showing his dominance here, as he at one point was up to about a little over half a second a lead here. But Aaron Thompson, still close behind, still close enough to where he could make a move if Rutherford were to make a mistake. Colt Martin now, he He was a little bit behind Aaron Thompson there, so he's going to be looking to have to look to keep up a little bit here, better off on this restart. Aaron Thompson, of course, is going to choose the outside as the lights go off on the pace car, and we are going to go green coming out of turn 4. Reed Christensen sitting in a nice spot there on outside of row number 2.
Yes, sir. Reed absolutely is. This will be considered his home track on the schedule, so let's see if he can power that number 30 to a +10 on the night and take home victory as we get set for a restart of turn number 4. Rutherford on the loud pedal, and we're green flag racing here into lap number 49. Thompson gonna pull right up in front of Christensen as he tries to get by Martin. Let's see if he can get enough of a run on the top shelf. Nothing doing so far. Martin still right there beside him. As we look back behind these guys, Murphy has made his way back into 5th around Daniel Brown, and we got one around Pete Dillon again. Oh, wow. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Nope. Spins it out here. Let's see if that will trigger a caution. Dang, Pete Dillon, the unluckiest guy in the field here. No caution.
Race officials must not like him.
I don't believe
as
we
in have
the
iRacing. iRacing.
Yeah.
Not this is iRacing control cautions.
Yeah, I don't think our boy Tingle showed up here tonight, so iRacing doing all the caution work, and Pete Dillon for a second time catches the short end of the stick. As back behind your leaders, Christensen works down the number 4 once again, looking to take away that 3rd spot and land himself on the podium. Still chasing season win number 1, 52 laps collected this time by.
Yeah, I think that top side has gone away at this point in time in the race. So Reed really wasn't in as good of a position as I thought he was, I guess, but now he's trying to fight to get his nose on the inside of that left rear quarter panel of that number 4 of Colt Martin.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, James a little bit loose there coming out of turn number 2, pushes it tight after bringing it back in, and he will almost hit the wall, but he'll gather it up, still right in the 5th spot. Brown right behind him. Dylan Sale in the 12 machine overruns the exit of the corner. Almost puts his machine in the wall as well, but he's going to continue to battle with the 78. Gives him a shot, gives him another shot. 78 of Gross not happy with the 12 of Sale, and vice versa here on lap number 54 as some sparks are flying with the SOAR Street Stocks as we take the cameras back up front. Rutherford and Thompson about a half a second better than the rest of the field here. And it's about a half a second from Thompson to Martin in 3rd. Christensen still in 4th. Murphy in 5th as the battle for 5th heating up once again. Danny Brown aiming to get around James Murphy.
Well, I've been watching this battle, and as you've been talking about the bumps going on in the battle behind these two guys, have been, Danny Brown's been trying to use that bumper a little bit. Not too much, but just enough to try to move him out the way. But James has been able to hold on to it. And same thing with Christensen and Colt Martin up here. So pretty much packs of 2 right now. 2 by 2 by 2.
Absolutely. And it looked like Daniel tried the old bump and run there for a second. I had to let that come to me. Tried the old bump and run. Nothing works for him as he still trails Murphy for the 5th spot. He's not going to let James get back down to the bottom of the track. This one might get good here, ladies and gentlemen, as Danny Brown trying to get around James Murphy for the 5th spot. He's going to pull in right behind him, give him another bump. Murphy going to go up the track and hit the wall. That's going to open the door wide open as Brown takes the spot away here with 22 to go. Now Dylan Sale behind him. Sale roughed up the 78 for a little while. Let's see what he does here with James Murphy in front of him. Oh, touches him. Sale, will he save it? Yes, he will. He got in there way hot. Murphy wasn't able to keep up speed with the 12 machine. 12 gets into the back of him. just about goes around, and now he falls into the clutches of David Gross, who, if you remember from a little bit earlier in the race, cannot be ecstatic with the 12 machine. Let's see what happens here with 21 laps to go.
Reed Christensen trying to make a move on the 4 of Colt Martin for a podium position here. Not quite able to get him, but he's going to try to load up and throw another charge at it. He was inside his quarter panel last lap at the flag stand, but just showing here that that middle line is coming back around a little bit here.
Absolutely. As we're watching that battle now, battle for the third and final podium spot. Up front, the battle for the lead heating up again as Thompson has reeled in Rutherford. Only a half car length separate the two with 18 laps to go.
Yeah, these two have been mighty quiet here lately, but Aaron Thompson able to keep that gap closed here, and expect to see a battle brew here in the next 6 to 7 laps. It looks like Thompson went a little bit high off of turn 4 there. Gets into the wall a little bit, and now it spreads out to almost half a second split here.
Yeah, he lost a lot of ground right there, like he just said. Back to the battle for third. Those two are about even with the leaders in terms of the distance between them. But Reed's going to close in, push that 30 high, almost into the wall once again, as he still trails Colt Martin for the third spot. Back to Brown. He's all by his lonesome. And now looks like the 12 and the 65 side by side as Murphy taps the wall again. And he's going to be forced to allow the 12 machine to take the spot. Dylan Sale into the 6th spot. Back behind him, David Gross, Alan Carter, and the 9 of Brian Toller, all right there within striking distance, with Pete Dillon bringing up the rear right now, as now the 3 gets into the 78 again. No harm, no foul, 15 laps to go.
And these guys back here racing hard as ever. Well, I say back here, this is more mid-pack, really, but guys racing really hard. Yeah, Andrew Rutherford still got that little bit of gap there after Aaron Thompson hit the wall, so not really leaving him, not really gaining him, so kind of staying even Steven here a little bit. Closing in on 10 laps to go.
Absolutely. 13 this time. Make it 12 as we cross the start-finish stripe. Rutherford, Thompson, Martin, Christensen, Brown, the top 5. All those guys have a good advantage over the next pack of cars. Dylan Sale in 6th has split his way away from Murphy and the gang, as David Gross is going to try and get around James here into turn number 3. Nothing doing. He's going to be forced to run the same line. Now, James is playing this extremely smart, Matt, as he's going to run that bottom line and force these guys to try and find a lane around him here. As you see him there, just goes right down to the bottom of the track and tells David Gross basically either you're going to hit me and wreck me, move me out the way, or you're going to have to go high to get around me.
Yes, and normally when I'm in this situation, I'll let you know. I'm going to say, hey, you're going to have to move me off of this yellow line right here.
Absolutely.
I am not getting off of it.
And he certainly is not, as they're able to reel James in every single corner, but cannot get by the 65, as he is just as consistent as ever, the current points leader, trying to salvage what he can out of tonight, as there's more contact from the 78 of David Gross. And now Gross going to have to try and go high. Let's see if he can make it stick. Oh, contact. Gross into the wall. James says, you're not taking my spot, big boy.
Gross going to try to make the high side work, though, he stays on the right rear quarter panel of that 65 Talking Dirt machine. Or, excuse me, Talking Dirt TV machine.
There you go.
Now he's got pressure from David Gross on his right rear and Alan Carter right behind him, trying to get up under his left rear quarter panel. They're all over James. Now they make big contact, and around goes the points leader.
Absolutely.
Race is going to stay green for now.
It sure is. Stays green with 7 laps to go. Move Murphy all the way back to 11th here. As we look back at the battle for the lead, Rutherford continues to lead. The battle for third heating up, however, Matt, as Christensen is on the back bumper of Martin. The 30 and the 4 machine locking horns once again with 6 to go.
Yeah, and they've been riding like this for the past probably 10, 15 laps. I mean, Reed Christensen has just absolutely stayed covering this man's rearview mirror. So the only thing Colt Martin has been seeing out of that rearview mirror is the front end of that 30 machine. He is right there on his tail. It looks like Aaron Thompson's able to reel in leader Andrew Rutherford by a couple of tenths here. Coming up on 3 to go. Does he have enough time? Now Reed Christensen going to make a move on Colt Martin in turn 3. He's going to dive down up underneath him. They're going to be side by side crossing the stripe going into 1. There's Christensen still on the bottom, almost making contact there through 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. As Christensen beating down the back bumper here. 3 laps make it 2 this time by. Rutherford's your leader. Thompson hasn't mounted the charge just yet. He's got a couple more turns left to do it. Make that 8 turns, a little more than a couple. I was wrong, but still, 8 turns left to do it for Andrew Rutherford. Martin still holds off the charging 30 of Reed Christensen. They're battling for third. Back behind them, Sale and Brown side by side as we come to the white flag. All eyes on Andrew Rutherford looking for season win number 3. He will head down the back straight for the final time. Let's take a look back at this battle for 5th. Looks like Sale's going to fend him off, and we go back up front out of turn number 4. Rutherford will do it. He'll seal the deal and win it. New Smyrna, 2nd to Thompson, 3rd to Martin, 4th to Christensen. Brown's going to scave off the 12 of Sale for 5th and 6th. David Gross comes home in the 7th spot. Carter 8th, Toller 9th. Pete Dillon, I believe, will finish in the 10th spot, and James Murphy in the 11th spot. What a race. And we got it done, Matt, in 38 minutes. How about that? Can't beat it with a stick here, as your top 3 are going to pull down into victory lane here. And that's the way that we finish off the night with the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks. Andrew Rutherford, your winner here. Aaron Thompson 2nd, and Colt Martin finishing in the 3rd spot. Real quick, just to show you, if you missed it, the race results from tonight. It was Rutherford, Thompson, Martin, your top 3. Christensen, Brown, your top 5. Then it was Dylan Sale, David Gross, Alan Carter, Brian Toller. Pete Dillon rounds out the top 10 with James Murphy the last to finish on the track. And then it was Elliott Vining, a DNF on the night for Elliott, unfortunately. And real quick before we get out of here, let's have a couple of words with tonight's race winner as we drag him on up here. Andy, it's Ryan from the TDTV booth. You got a copy with me, buddy?
I got you, man. How you doing?
Absolutely, man. Well, you managed to, I believe, get a win while we took a little bit of a break. They're back in week 7, but you do it again here in week number 10. And put that number 35 in victory lane here at the New Smyrna Speedway in dominating fashion. That car was absolutely flying. Although Thompson gave you a challenge here and there, he didn't have anything for you here tonight. That thing was on a rail.
Yeah, man, it was pretty good. This definitely isn't one of my favorite tracks, but I knew taking the green that I kind of had to get control of the race because it's super hard to pass here in the low horsepower cars. Once we got control, we kind of just managed to lead and kind of rode there. I think towards the end, Thompson was a tick quicker than me, but I seen that he got the wall 3 or 4 times on the exit of 4 there, and I seen it kind of get tighter and tighter on him and kind of pulled away there at the end.
Well, Andy, let's before we get you going, let's talk about points, because this does wonders for you sitting in 2nd in points with James unfortunately having a pretty bad night here. He'll come home in the 11th spot, but this really opens the door for you. If I pull it up real quick, you enter 22 points back, and you gain all these points for winning here, and this sets us up. Big 2 weeks coming up. How are you feeling about your chances to come in here and maybe take the points away from James at Kentucky and Irwindale?
Yeah, man, James is a good dude. I really like James. He races clean. He races hard, extremely fast on dirt, and he's getting the handle on asphalt. I don't know, man. Just keep doing what we did today. Good top consistent finishes. It seems I've had pretty bad luck. I think I should have had about 3 more wins, but we got wrecked there at a couple of tracks. But I don't know. Just keep my head down and keep digging.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead, real quick. Shout out any sponsors, anybody else that deserves some love here on the stream for you pulling out your third win of the season with the SOAR Street Stocks.
Yeah, man. Got to thank my teammates, David and Pete. David had a decent night. Excuse me. Pete he was fast, but got in a couple accidents there. Like to thank my beautiful girlfriend Megan for allowing me to do this. I think Ronnie York is watching the car owner in the real world, and that's about it, man.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, congratulations once again, picking up your third win of the season and making that points race a whole lot tighter as we head towards the Kentucky Motor Speedway.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate what you do around here too.
Hey, no problem, brother. We'll catch you next week.
All right, take it easy.
So that was race winner Andrew Rutherford. Next up, we'll bring into the booth second place runner all night long. Looked like he had something for Rutherford there at the end, but he'll come home with a very, very good points night. Mr. Aaron Thompson. Aaron, take me through this one because it looked like there at times that 19 was carrying just a little more speed than the eventual winner, but a couple of bad breaks there towards the end of the race made you just kind of settle into second there, it seemed.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of screwed up on the initial start, and he got out in front of me, so I was just riding for a while, and I was definitely better than him, like lap 50 or 60, but I just started to really lose the right front there in the last 20 laps. So I don't know. He got away from me, but second is good. I'll take it.
Absolutely, and it sets you up nicely here as you battle for more points towards the end of the season. 2 races left, of course. First, the Kentucky Motor Speedway, and then we head to another foreign track in the Irwindale Motor Speedway. How are you kind of feeling as we get towards those? And obviously, like I said, you're really starting to make up some ground here in points. So I gotta be a little bit confident here as we head towards a bigger track and then another real small one to end out the season.
Yeah, I had a couple bad races here these last couple weeks. I was up to 4th, but so I'm kind of out of the championship hunt, I guess you could say now. So I'm just gonna go for wins and see what I can get to for points.
Absolutely. Still give it your all no matter what happens. Real quick before we get you out of here, who do you have to thank on the car or anybody that you want to shout out here for getting you on the podium tonight?
Just Hack, Colton Martin. We had a good showing tonight. Feels good to be successful with him.
Absolutely, Aaron. Well, once again, congratulations. And hey, we'll see you next week as we'll look forward to you putting on another fantastic show at Kentucky.
Yeah, see you next week.
So that was the voice of Aaron Thompson, second place finisher. One more person to have a word with here, and then we'll get you out of here. It's third place finisher Colt Martin maintained third all night long and was able to fend off a hard-charging Reed Christensen at the very end. Colt, take us through this one, man. It looked like there at the start you really had something for those top 2, but you were kind of forced to settle into your groove there, but kept the car clean and, ran a consistent line there. So a really nice confidence-building performance here in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, thank you guys. Been trying to build some momentum up for these last few weeks. Just followed Aaron around in practice. Tried to learn the line a little bit better because I'm not the greatest at this track, and I just want to apologize to Reed for getting into him on the last lap. Tried pulling a crossover and came down too quick, so I got him in the right rear.
Well, be that as it may, everybody was racing hard. Trust me, there was some more fireworks going on behind you. These guys were racing hard, but this sets us up for a big night next Tuesday. We head to the Kentucky Motor Speedway, a big wide open track. I'm expecting a lot of 3-4 wide racing. Where's kind of your mindset as we head there?
My mindset's pretty much just try to think how I went into Charlotte, because I feel like that's kind of be like sort of the same. Kind of just try to do what I did at Charlotte, except not pull out to the outside like I did on the last lap and just stay in line.
Absolutely. We're very excited to see it again. That's next Tuesday night. And I guess go ahead, shout out any sponsors, anybody that deserves some love here for you getting on the podium once again with us with the SOAR Street Stocks.
I want to thank Rodney first of all for the paint job. Aaron Thompson, Hack Motorsports, and Mom and Dad.
Absolutely, Cole. Well, once again, congratulations. Great run here, a top 3 to round out the first 10 races. 2 races left to go. And we're excited to see where you go from here, bud.
Thank you, guys.
So that was your top 3 from tonight. And that will just about do it here from the New Smyrna Speedway. Of course, I've been Ryan Williams. Joining me has been Matt Pridgeon. This has been another feature presentation of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association Street Stocks live on Talking Dirt TV. And just a quick reminder, tonight's winner was Andrew Rutherford in the 35. We will catch you next Tuesday as the series heads north to the Kentucky Motor Speedway. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you then.